Hello, welcome to my craft room with Troda. Today we're working on the kitchen in our haunted mansion. And I hope you don't mind the fan being on back there. We got a storm brewing and it's making it hot and humid in here. So let's look at our sneaky peek of the day. We have this little piece right here. Let me see what the Rita Donnelly flip is telling me that it is. It is called a stacked journal pocket using junk mail envelopes. She used to do a lot of things with envelopes and it's real fun. But what she did here was you have like the solid main piece of the envelope, I think, went all the way down to here. Then you had the end that you cut off pointed this way. Then you had the small little end that was probably up on that side up here. So you have three pockets. You've got one there, and then you have one here. That's a long pocket. And then that's how I decorated it up. And then we have the tall pocket that's up on top. And that has these little girls in it. Aren't they pretty? But I just decorated it up like that. And it's very easy to make. I may have to make that for us one day. Stacked journal pockets. So if you wanted to go over there and look at the Scrapbooking with Me site, you could find that and see how she made them. Because I don't know when I'm going to get around to it. I'm working on Halloween. I'm having to fill my shop up. Oh my goodness, all kinds of stuff. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming to visit me, all my subscribers and viewers. I really appreciate it. Like I said, we're working on the kitchen today. I have a few little pieces and parts from the ephemera pack up here. I have some inks here. We're going to be working with texture paste here. But it's kind of dried up a little bit, I guess. I just made one. Because you know I'm doing 2 journals. So this is what I ended up with so far. And I don't know if it was just so dry that it peeled off. I know you can use your heat gun on them to dry them faster, and that's what I did. I don't know if that was a no-no or what. I wasn't really that sad about the way it worked out because it's like peeling off bricks, the really old bricks. And so we're going to try the second one in the same technique. So what we need is our stencil, and I guess I could tell you what that stencil's called. Hang on. I didn't have both my lights on, but it's called a bricked layering stencil, THSO38. And it will come in handy for all kinds of things. This is going on the back side of our stairs, and it's going to be on this side with a window. This side over here is going to be the mad scientist. All right, let's push a few of these things up out of the way. So I've got a little work area. We're going to put this up here. And I kind of put it over the side. I got a little mess up here, but that's going to get covered anyway. All right, so what we need, what do I do with it? Hang on. Okay, since this is pretty dry, I can add some liquids to it to help it out. So what I've got is the Burning Ember mica stain, and I've got candy apple red, I've got aged mahogany, and we're going to try those out. Now, the way I did it before, I kind of smeared that on there like that. Oh, great. Hopefully that'll get covered. Oh, it might work to our advantage. Who knows? That one's a little drier. And then we're going to put some of this out. Now, what he suggests is when you open it, to put you some press and seal in here. I just took a piece of saran wrap, but you're going to get in here and you're going to get you enough that I think I can cover that with. Maybe that'll do it. Every time I go in there, I drop some off and pick some more up. Okay. And then to reseal it, you stick your fingers way down in there, get all the air out. And then you put your cap back on. Okay, so let's do that. Put our little puddle right there. And then we're going to put some of our burning ember on there. I think I did one squirt before. Ooh. One long, slow squirt. Oh gosh, I got it on my finger and everything. I'm doing this at night, so I must not be functioning well. Look, that's a pretty color. Alright, now what you need to do, get over here and mix this. I hope my fan is not drying this out too much. And just mix it up. It's kind of got an orangey tint to it because of the burning ember. And then I was hoping my aged mahogany would tone it down a little bit. And the candied apple gives it the red sheen. Alright. Get all my inks in there. Okay. I'm sure there's different things you can work on. Like silicone, maybe a good one. I just wanted something I could just toss. Okay, getting ready to go at it. Now, I'm going to place it right here, just a little over that. And what I did before is I put in a piece of paper that will cover at least this side so I don't mess it up so bad. You get messy with these things, I can tell you. You do. Okay, so that's going to go down there. We're going to start putting our goo on. Now this is a texture paste with crackle. I really love the crackle. That's what gave me the look of the brick being real cracked up like that. Okay. Going up here to the top. Like I said, this is my kitchen, and you always have the old brick wall in the kitchen. I've got a little bit of a bump situation on the back side because of the picture frame. So we're going to hope it doesn't do too much to us. Alright. I'm going to scrape this off. And this is going into the sink where I have water. You want to do that as soon as possible. Oh, that turned out better than it did before. Hold on just a minute. Okay, and probably what you may want to do is get in here and tap down a few little sticky up areas with your finger. This is what I did before, and I don't know if I didn't put enough on here, or that top section of the texture paste which is really dry. I don't know what happened on that second one or first one. I wasn't really, caring. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this with the heat gun on low setting, and I'll be back. Let me show you what it looks like first. There's what it looks like right now. Then wait till see what it looks like later. Okay, here's what it looks like after I dried it. It did start curling up, so I'm going to have to see if, like that, I'm going to have to make sure if it doesn't stick, I'm going to have to get it off. That's okay. The other one looked pretty good because it gave me the impression of the bricks in color. And what I just do is I'll rub it every way. North, south, east, and west. And this had a thicker base, especially over here, so it didn't crackle as well. Ugh. Well, anyhow, let me finish doing this and I'll be right back. Okay, that one didn't peel as badly, so we're doing pretty good. Let me see, is my phone trying to fall off? It has a tendency to want to sometimes. Okay. Looks like everything's crooked, so we're going to straighten it. Alright, we're going to work with a distress crayon right now. black soot. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take it. It's like a waxy crayon. And you just kind of, you can put it directly on, or you can put it over here and then add a little water. Actually, we're going to leave it like that. And I'm going to spray a little puddle of water right beside it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add it back and forth. So I've got like a little slurry. And that's where I kind of like what's going across here. Kind of giving it color. You know how you're in the kitchen, if you have an open fire or something, a kettle, you have black soot hitting the wall, staining anything and everything. So we're just going to kind of dibble along here and give it a little extra color. And while I do, I'm going to read you something. When I was in, well, I'm still in doing my genealogy, but we used to have these surname back in 1990s. We had a surname name list, and we were on an email for it. And it was just where people would get on there and share things. Anyhow, somebody put on there something about life in the 1500s. And that's where I've got all these great sayings that you never knew where they came about from. Well, I have some that has to do with the kitchen. And one of them was that when you were able to get bacon and bring it home, you were doing well, because you know, it was very hard to afford back then, especially for poorer people. So when they had company come over, they wanted to show off their bacon, so they would hang like a ham or something out there where everybody would be sitting, so they could see that the man could bring home the bacon. And another one was about back then it was really hard to get a hold of meat, so everybody usually would eat some type of vegetable. So they would have like a stew over a pot in the kitchen that would cook, and they would eat everything they wanted out of it. And I'm going to dibby dabble here, and I'm going to make like a soot trail or a smoke trail that's going to come off of my my cauldron here, because he's going to sit down there. Alright, so anyhow, they would have their vegetables and stuff in there. Then when they were finished for the day, it would just keep hanging there, and it would be added to the next day. And sometimes it was to the point where there was food in there that was a month old. Isn't that nasty? So that came about, or the saying came about, peas porridge hot, peas porridge cold, peas porridge in the pot 9 days old. That's where that came from. Because I don't think I could handle that. Food that old in a pot. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm looking more like I've got a fingerprint there. Let's dibby dabby that a little better. Okay. And I had one more. What was it? Something about pewter plates. Let me read that real quick. Okay. Most rich people had pewter plates, and what happened was, when they ate a food with a high acid content off of these pewter plates, it would leach into the food. And that happened most often with tomatoes. So they quit eating tomatoes for 400 years. They were considered poisonous. Wouldn't it have been Franklin that got people back to eating it again? I'm trying to remember. I know he was the one that wanted a turkey for the national bird. Anyhow, then there was something else with pewter. What was that? And most people didn't have pewter plates, but they had these trenchers, like a piece of wood with the middle scooped out like a bowl, and they were never washed, and a lot of times the worms got into the wood. Oh God. After eating off wormy trenchers, they would get the trench mouth. Oh, I didn't need to read that one, I don't think. Okay, I think I'm good on the on the soot trail here. Oh, did I have anything else about the kitchen? Wow, there's all kinds of stuff about the kitchen here. Here is another one. Bread was divided according to status. Workers got the burnt bottom of the loaf, the family got the middle, and guests got the top or the upper crust. Oh my gosh. Alright, I'm going to set this one to the side, and I might go back to my other one because I know it's dry. Okay, so we're back to this one. We don't need these inks anymore, or those. Now I am going to take this, I don't need this anymore. I am going to take this and cut a little smiley in it to maybe put some bubbles or something in it. There we go. There. And what's going to happen now is I can slip something down in there. I'm going to take some black soot and go around the outside edge of it though. Let's see, lead cups were used to drink ale and whiskey. Let's see, the combination would sometimes knock them out for a couple of days. Someone walking along the road would take them to be dead and prepare them for burial. Oh, they were laid out on the kitchen table for a couple of days, and the family would gather around and eat and drink and wait to see if they would wake up. Hence the custom holding a wake. I would not want that done to my kitchen table. What about you? Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna try to put me a little lip under here. Oop, did I get it? No. Sort of. Yeah. My husband's out there walking around in the dark. I don't know what he's doing. Oh, okay. So I think that's done. Now, what's next? Got all of those done. All of that done. Okay, I've got this little piece of 3D embossed lumber here, and I rounded the corners. I put something on the back. I actually put a piece of washi along this little thin copy paper before I glued this down to it. So that was the only steps I did there. I do want to get in here and see if I can rub a little bit of rub and buff on it to give it a little bit of color, because it's just all black. So let's see what we can do. Do I have any rub and buff that'll come out? Probably not. Let's see if I can poke it. Yeah, that did it. My poor rub and buff. The lid had an issue when I first got it, so it dries up quite often over film over the top. Alright, see, it's got a crack in it. A big old crack too. Well, good golly, I might have to put it into another container because it's not wanting to go shut now. Alright, I can sit over here and think about it. Alright, this is how you do it. You rub your finger on it, rub it down, and then you just kind of smear it across there. It kind of dries a little on the faster side. I'm just going in sort of a circular motion to see if I can get a good bit of it on there without going in the grooves. Now I'm going to have a door on here, so I don't really need to worry about the inside, just the outer edges. Yeah, it's kind of neat. It's called Rub and Buff. I've used it several times before, and it just gives you like a dimension. Yeah, got stuff everywhere. All right. But here's what I got after all that. I guess it's supposed to be the base of a door. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to glue this to this edge over here. And the idea is you can get on here and write on the back of there, or we could put something, some of our other words or something on the back of here. This is her cupboard, where she has all of her eye of newt, toe of frog, whatever all those words are, you know. So you got to get it right here on the edge and glue it down. So it's a little flip out. I'm going to hold that down. Make sure it adheres very well. And here's the door that's going to go on here. I had thought to take and make the door also a flip, but I don't think I'm going to worry about that. I wanted a little room or something on here to write on, but I think that would be too small. So we're going to go ahead and glue it down, get it secured. This is from the Mente Doors book. I got it from May Made It. I don't know if they still have it for sale there. I might want to put a little bit more on here because I got grooves in this door and may not hold well. So yeah, this is going to go over here to the left a little further. Well, I didn't get it quite straight. There we go. I know it's bright pink, but I thought it was close to red. Alright, now this little piece, I've got an what is that? Dark Academia book from Hobby Lobby. I got it for $5. One of you told me about it, and I thought it's great. It's got all kinds of things in it that I can use for this. Okay, and I'm putting this one little black strip to make it look like that's the bottom of my shelf. And some of the items look like they may be kind of sitting on it. And then we're going to trim that off. This was just like a scrap that I had. Oop. Okay, so this is going to go, I think, right up here. Yeah. She's got some of her stuff stored up there. Now wait a minute, let me check this situation out. Because I also want this to hang up there. Because I wanted her to have some dried flowers. And this was about the only thing I had. Now let's say we just go back down here a little bit. And maybe put it under there. Yeah, and then when you flip it open you can see it. That works for me. How about you? I'm trying to think what she might have in her haunted kitchen. Well, not haunted, but bespelled kitchen. Is that what maybe you would say? Alright, so we're going to put this right there. I know I'm covering some of the bricks, but that's okay. It might be an area where the half of them fell off, you know. Now what I want to do with this is I want to go around the outside with the black soot. And then that's just going to get glued right down. And it's supposed to be this way, but I'm going this way so it looks like it's hanging. I only had this one. I don't know what I'm going to do for the other one. I think I've got a stamp that I can use for that. So yeah, this is going to hang right up here. Maybe that's her wolfsbane. Yes, her wolfsbane. Alright, our little witch lady is going to be on here. Let's get her, well, we got to figure out what we want to put in her cauldron. I've got a big bug over here. Oh, I had this as well. Did I cut it the wrong way? I probably did. Because I wanted it to look like the bubbles. Okay, let's cut this last bubble off and I think we're good. This is one of the, I think it's Bubbles, one of his die cuts. It's like a background. I love it because it can go for anything. I used it in my mermaid journal as well. Alright, let me go ahead and get that glued down and then I'll be right back. Okay, I've got this piece that's also from the Dark Academia, and it's like the witch's book, and it's got a big old candle there and books behind it, and it's like a little pedestal. Well, I'm going to use this from the Poe kit for the background, for the back side, so it can be written on as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the piece of tape, washi tape, over here to strengthen this edge, like I did on the last, the door piece. This is exactly what I did for the door. Okay. And it just gives it extra strength because this is only a piece of copy paper, so you know it doesn't have the strength behind it. Okay, and I put glue behind it just so it'll hold. Now what we want to do is at least do our outside edges so it's not white core, and then we're going to glue it down. I always like to have somewhere you can write on these papers or pages, because I've got them so decorated. I still want it to be a functional journal. Okay, I'll rub that down really well and get that cut out. And we're going to cut it right along the edge here. Okay. And what it's going to do is it's actually going to go through the signature and connect that way. So whatever I have over here, this is like the what do you call him? The mad scientist room. So whatever's over here will come and hook to this and hang this way with a fold or a flap. So that's how we're going to work that. Now I can get back here and darken my edge a little bit. And I could round the corners if I wanted to. I don't know that I'm going to though. Okay, so that's all we got for there. Then we have witch hazel, and I'm going to put it right up behind here on the wall. Okay, just like that. And it's going to be hidden by that once that's secured in. Then we have magic potion, which I'm going to put on the back side of here up in the corner. She doesn't want to advertise now. She's hiding her secrets. This will be a nice little spot to write a few words or thought of the day or what they did for Halloween. Okay, that's basically done. That's all I'm going to do to this piece. And that can be set aside because it's going to be used at another point. Now, with the bubbles, I made bubbles. I didn't know what else to put coming out of here, so I did it like I did the other one. And where I had this cut out, I saved up all those bubbles. And I went over there and I sprayed them with a little green and with a little, what was that? It was one of those, maybe tombstone. I don't know. It had a green tinge to it. Oh, specimen. The specimen mica spray. That's what I put in there. Alright, so we're going to pull that forward and glue that down. And you can go under here as well if you wanted to. Then we have a big one that's going to come out up here. There we go. And I have a couple small ones because I want variety. So we're going to put a small one right here in the front. Out right there. And we're going to put a couple coming down the cauldron. One there and one here. And one there. I know they're a little hard to see, but you know. She might be whipping up a nasty, nasty brew that is really pungent. Alright, so I think I'm going to put that down here right at the bottom. And it's got to glue to this back side. Got everything ready to go. Alright, right here. Set right there. And you can see the smoke trail. I think I even left my fingerprints on that. Alright, I'm going to hold this down for a couple minutes. Now I thought I would put the Rochelle salts right there, because that was sort of an empty hole. And I have the bug, and I think I'll just put the bug right there. It's hard to glue anything down to this texture paste, that's for sure. Alright. There we go. I'll stick that right up here, right underneath the shelf. And close our door just so we know we're not going to catch it. Alright, and the creepy big bug. Whoop. He looks like he's got one of those horn headdresses like those fat ladies at the opera sing with. Okay. He's in there. He's kind of hidden, but he's there. And do we want... I'm not putting number 13 on the cauldron. We could do that. I have a 13 here, but I think I'll go with this on the cauldron. Okay. It should have been one of the bubbles. Okay, and then this piece is going to go right up here. She's going to be on the front, so I couldn't really put it on the front of the cabinet, though it would have been perfect. So this is close enough. I thought I'd put it right up here. And I gotta center it with the door, that's why it's over this far. Okay. Now, I'm going to have a bat or two flying around. Gotta have a few bats. She has to have fresh produce now and then. You know, right off the hoof. Oh gosh. Poor husband, he's in there, he's went to bed. I did this late tonight. I figured I needed to get it out for tomorrow. I'd promise you another haunted house one. Alright. There we go. And how's that going to work? I think the door is going to have to come open first. And then this. I think that's how that's going to work. Alright, these are the things. I'm going to worry about them. Then, our little girl. I got to fix her head, her hat first. So, let me get that. Okay, I think what I'm going to have to do is put me some sticky dots in here. Velcro dots, I mean. So, I'm going to go right in the center of this bubble. And put it right there. Look, you can't even see it. And then I've got the fuzzy one. That's going to go here. And I got to put a little bit of glue on it just to make sure it stays. There. And then push it down, because it's going to be holding this piece shut too. So that will be how that works for me. And these are sticky back. Got them at Walmart. They're pretty strong. I wanted to make sure they would hold. Okay, our little girl is a witch. She needs a hat. Where is the hats? There we go. All right. We are going to put her in right there. That one. Well, they're all the same. But we need to put a little hole in the top of it. So right where the top brim comes around, we're going to put a little smile. Now let's see if that'll work. Oh, look at that, I broke it. We have more. Let's try it this way. You know, I'll outsmart this thing. We're going to open it like that and cut it before we even pull it out. Whoa. Alright. Let's see how that works. See if we can get our little girl's head in there to where she's wearing it. That one was a little shorter. I guess that's for junior witches, maybe. And we're going to cut that piece off because it's got that thing on it. Let's see if we can get rid of some of that white. And we're going to put a little bit of glue on the back side right here where her head's going to be. And I've already inked around her with black soot. Okay. She's going to wear her hat at a little jaunty angle. How about that? Guess I need some for the back of her head too. That hat looks funny, but oh well. The point gets put across. Alright. There we go. A little witch. Oh, 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 oh. I didn't need to do this side, right in here, because that part's sticking off. So let's do a straight line. Okay, that's better. Yeah, she's going to be sticking off just a little bit right there. So it's going to be just like this. I should use the bigger hat. That's going to get me. Oh my goodness. Alright, make sure she stays down. Cap our glue, and we'll look at it again. Because we are done. Except for, nope, I don't think we need a saying, because there's a few in here about witches, which I may find to put up here. Let me see if I see anything. Okay, our witch's kitchen is done. Her little thing says eye of newt and toe of frog. That was perfect. But here is a close-up. There's her cauldron and her. And then what will happen is this will open like that. And then you've got this inside. You got a little bit of room to write there. And that blends in really well with that background. And you got your bug, you got your cauldron, you have about the salts. And then when it's open here, you're able to open it that way, like that. And you'll get this view. And then you're able to write on there as well. And this goes shut first, and then the other one. Oops, little maintenance. So this one will go shut first, and then that goes shut, and that holds that one shut as well. So I hope you enjoyed that and got a few ideas, a few little techniques like finger dabbings. I had a whole lot of mixed media in this one. So I really hope you enjoyed this. Give me a thumbs up if you did. I'd really appreciate it. Leave me a comment if I need to elaborate on what I used here or there. Just let me know, and I'll be glad to answer any of your questions. All right, thank you everyone. Have a great day, and good night for me. Bye-bye.